Good evening, folks. Yes, again, you heard the noise. You know what it is. You know what time it is. I hear that knock at the door. Okay? Yes. It's time for the show, All That, with your host, Solomon Saul Whitfield, broadcasting from Studio 215. And the platform we use to get this over the airwaves is WARCradio.com, which is an internet radio station with numerous um, genres of various genres, different types of radio stations. I'm sure there's something out there to satisfy your appetite. One of the things I like about the podcast, I think it's good to share, is that for me, when you can listen to somebody's voice, sometimes for me it gives me I can focus more on that than sometimes when I see something, the person, I look at what they're wearing, and I get distracted sometimes, and maybe I'm losing my focus, as I'm probably trying to say. But with the podcast, it's pretty clear, it comes across. I mean, you don't have all those other peripheral things involved. You just hear that voice coming through, and inflection and the tone and everything else, and how to deliver it and how to present it. And that's why I think podcast is a great thing. And by all means, go out there on WARCradio.com and see what's out there. I listen to an outsider's view with Steve Emirado. It's provocative, and I know the gentleman personally, and he's pretty true to who he's been and who he is. And go out there and see what he puts out there. You might like it. Also, it helps us bring the show on is the car corner. And that car corner is carinamotors.com. I need a car. I need transportation. I need a truck. I need a bus. I need transportation. carinamotors.com. I got the car. Unfortunately, somebody put some ding bang, hit my car, did some damage to it. I'm going to call Caliber Auto Repair. That's right, Caliber Auto Repair. It's a body shop. And ask for Ray, and Ray will help you. They'll go to the ends of the earth to try to assist you within reason of working with you and helping you get your vehicle where it needs to be and where you would like it to be. So contact Calvary Auto. This triangle would not be complete without a mechanical shop, and that shop is Delicio Auto Repair. This is a shop that I'm close to, and I got to tell you that I'm proud to be associated with all three of those, and the triangle. And Delicio Auto Repair is the only thing I can say about Delicio Auto Repair is that we have satisfied customers. We have a great customer base, and that great customer base is there because they've been patient to work with us because they know we're not like a big retail shop. We don't have 20 days or 20 technicians and the big building and everything else. We got a nice building. It's more than adequate. It's very nice. We're taking care of it, upgrades. But the point I'm trying to get to is that, we're not putting the cost and all that overhead in that. We're a 4-bay shop, and what we want to do is we have to juggle to keep, and we're thankful for the customer base, and we're also trying to grow, and that sometimes can be a challenge. So those customers that are now have gone through that challenge, and that's why they're our customers. And for anyone else that wants to be a customer, be patient with us, we'll work with you, and we'll save you some money and give you the same quality of work you can get from any major retail shop, especially for your European cars. And I'm talking Mercedes, Jags, Audi, Beamers, all that. Okay, so whatever it is, Bentley, same Ferrari, and they look like Magnum PI did. So instead of being red, it's yellow. I think they call that a 308. So there's a lot there, and they'll work with you. So by all means, and I'm glad to be able to work with those guys. Tonight's show is called 06 27 18 Meet E-Mam. and we're going to give E-Man a call. And E-Man, I believe, is expecting this call, because I did hit him up before instead of catching him off guard, because catching people off guard has caught a whole lot of things off guard. And let's see this phone. Come on, phone. All right, do your thing. All right. The Zoom is there. I may have something interesting in there, so let me.
Volume sounds a little down, a little low though. Maybe it's my ears. Did you have some Q-tips? Clean them ears up. That sounds better.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Uh-oh.
7-3.
Well, we're not going to play that number, but I'm kind of confused because all right, no problem. We'll move on. We'll see what the deal is. Better yet, you know what? I'm gonna be persistent. I'm gonna hit up another call, and he might have been doing something and couldn't pick up the phone. Let's try it. Let's try it for the second time. Don't look good. Well, I think before we get his secretary or the answering service,
your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Our call's over. All right, so that didn't work out. So there's a good possibility instead of me going on, I might end the show. But then again, I'm thinking I can do this show without having somebody call or call. I can talk about various things. That's why the show is called All That. And do like to have topics, but not a problem. Just share with you what I kind of experienced today. Let me see. I had a day where I spent some time with a young gentleman, 19 years of age, who shared with me that he was the only minority on the football team. And there's some other things that he brought into play about that, such as that he was not just a one-man sport individual. He also played baseball, and he excelled at baseball as well. And evidently someone, I guess, kind of picked his career path by not playing him in a linebacker on the defense, a linebacker position, because he sustained some concussions, and they wanted to put him into the baseball, where I guess he didn't have to worry about injuries, concussions. So they were concerned about his well-being and his health and everything else, and by doing that, they may have taken away, his decision. And I'm sure they were thinking about they were doing the best because, they felt, I guess, being adults and being around athletes, football players and baseball players, and that seen quite a few come through the system, and some of them could have a career and excel and do very well and go to the professional level. But he's moved on. He's good with that. He's in college, and he's in a marketing program, and he's open-minded. We talked about share some things today, and it was it's nice when you can find some young people that are willing to take some time with listening to some people that may be older than that. And don't get me wrong, it's not a one-sided thing, because I can also look at that young person and see how much I can learn from them. And so it's nice. it's nice, and so that was a nice way for the day. I showed him some things about golf. I tried to interest him in getting involved in golf, because basically in golf you can play that till you're like 100 years old, and you're not going to be playing football, and you definitely ain't going to be running no hoops. And you know what? It's funny because I could used to throw the baseball, and like now I throw it, it's like it's not pretty. Trust me, it's not pretty at all. So, but yeah, it's good to be able to wake up and experience something new every day, and then to have that opportunity to do that, and even the things that maybe are not so good, because we learn from those things also. Like the things are negative, and one of my things in Facebook I have, like, the quote I have there is take negatives and turn them into positives. And then, and I'm saying the same thing that the people say. If you want to make this analogy with or comparison, is that you take lemons, it's bitter, and you make lemon juice and make it sweet, more appealing. And the other thing I always like to say is that, when you are dealing with other people, and I'm not going to say I'm any authority, whatever. I'm sure there's people out there that, if we had to measure barometers and compare things, and I don't try to get in that, but I'm sure I know there's people more skillful, more gracious, and how to deliver it, and their vocabulary and everything else, and that's all fine. You know what I mean? Or what we call polish. And I was with a gentleman just a couple days ago, and in a golfing, and he was a broadcaster, and I would have to let me turn this phone off for a minute. And okay, we took care of that. That's E-Man, so hopefully we can talk to E-Man. But I was with this gentleman. This gentleman was in the broadcasting field. He was an anchor man for a local city, big city, Youngstown, Ohio. And first he was a sports broadcaster, and then he moved on and got, I guess, in management. And then I don't know, but I know he told me he was an anchor guy. And, and he's, quite naturally do advertising, commercials, and everything else. And I'm sure he's probably have his communication degree and everything else. And he's really, he looks the part. I mean, he looks the part. And, but now he took on a new challenge that is better for him and his family. He used to get up 3 o'clock in the morning, and he said it pays more, and there's more creativity for him to do and everything else. And he took that foundation that he got from that, and he moved that and kind of somewhat doing contract work, 1099, doing, like I said, commercials and speaking and public speaking and announcements and things like that. So very happy for him. Very happy that he shared that opportunity with me. Great individual. Wish him the best. And I'm, you know what I mean. And it was just a great time. So far it's been good. So we're coming up on the 4th of July, and it would be interesting if we can ask folks, how they feel about that, what's going on, whatever, meeting with family, reunion, whatever, and kind of go from there. But as always, we let our hosts do their own thing, select their topic. We just ask them what they want to talk about. So yeah, folks, it's nice to have guests to speak to, but two things I do better than anybody else on this planet, or just as well as anybody else, or better than most of them, is I can keep that, run that. I got it running. I can run it. And the other thing is that I'm like Jesse James. I can get your time. So I got to end this. Thanks a lot, guys. And you're listening to the show, All That. Stay tuned.